Hello, IK here. Welcome to update status. Okay, refresh. Orders. Update status is this new button in orders list and concretely in order excerpt. And when we, for example, this is now is status shipped, it is order 2, we can look at here. Order 2 is status shipped, is status paid, I must refresh, and it is shipped, okay? And now, when I change it, for example, in delivered, update, before it, look at here, order 2, here it is, order 2 is shipped, okay? Now, when I update status delivered, it will be changed in database. Update status delivered, alert status is changed. Okay, delivered. Look at in database. Number 2, I must refresh. It is delivered. Let's look at here. Here in status is shipped. Status in Redux. In Redux is shipped. What happened here? Not changed in Redux. Update status working, all excellent for database, and delivered is in database. After refresh, we will see all real state in database. But now, this moment, there is no changes in Redux. And what happened? We have a change in database, what we want change in database, but does not changes in Redux, state in Redux. And there is no error, nothing. Okay, let's see to code. Update states, send, communicate with Redux. It is about orders. Orders has a global state. In Redux, there is a global state, orders. And we must go change status and inform Redux that orders is changed. And update status button, contact, send tank, dispatch tank. Tank communicate with the backend Express. Express changes, execute orders, changes status in database, and we see that in databases status is changed. And the response order ID, status, and message, all is okay. For example, we will see response in JSON format, response to a tank function. And the tank function in add case make changes. Response data coming, order ID, status is changed, new status, it send from database, and from Express go to tank, and the message, and in add case, we have no changes. We have no changes of status. In database exist, change, status is changed, but in Redux is not. Okay, let's see code. There is no error. Uh, Here is 94. I control what is orders and see that orders here don't follow changes in database. At first, we look at orders list. Okay, we look at handle, submit, handle, change status, handler of list. But we can, okay. Uh, uh, Invoice, here it is. Handle status change. Handle status change. Dispatch update order status. It is tank function. And send order ID, and send status, new status. New status was changed here by in return by option list. Order ID, and status. Status is new status. New status we can see in return. In return, you see new status. It is value of this option list, what we changed here. It means that we send the value, new status, we send to a tank. And order ID must be order ID. Okay. Tank, what does tank? At first we see that address in tank function is update order status. We send order ID and status, new status. Now we go to orders slice. Order slice, and here is update order status. Update order status. If all is okay, but we don't see nothing, there is no error, what happened? We follow this. Update order, when here it is update order would be action payload. Action payload is what return, what would be response. A response we must look at in update order status here. This is tank function. The tank function send in asynchronous process, send order ID and status, order underscore, you see, and status, send request put here in this route. Orders update status. Orders update status. I copy this update status that I find it by search in Express. And send order ID and send this order ID and status. order ID and status, but also that order ID send like part of web address. Here it is variable of web address. It would be parameter in query parameter in web address and send status. Okay, we can go to Express, and what would be returned from Express? We fetch in response variable. Response variable. Response variable. There is data properties. In that data properties is all what was returned. We will see what is it. And now let's go to here in Express, edit, search, find. Yes, here it is. Update status, remove search engine, and update status order ID. See in request params, that request params. This is the structured assignment. It means left is object order ID. It is in our situation, it is number 2. And the right side is request params, the structured assignment. And here is a request, there is a properties body, and that request body give us a status. We have two object order ID and status, two variable. Order ID is number 2, and the status is what we change in database. I now forgot. And get down, validation, validation, and this is interesting, that update query, update orders, set status to where ID, order ID is question. It is security against injection in our query, and the query is sent in 2 layers. One layer is with empty place of data, in this situation status and order ID, and in second layer send only data. And we go, because this request ask promise. There is don't use the DB back callback like something other. Here we use promise, and for use promise we have a help function query async. About what I spoke before, I can again in some video, but now that I don't lose may think about what I spoke, go ahead, query async helper function to convert callback to promise, update query, here is update query, and status and the query ID will go in places, empty places in first layer. It is only data we send this moment. We send, okay, it is 2 layers. This is first layers with empty places of data, and the second only data, status and order ID. Response, what is response? If all is okay, response is, there is a message, it is object, JSON object, with the message, members of JSON object, properties, order status updated, order ID, and status. Three members here it is in this, three properties of that JSON object. But look at, very important, order ID. Order ID. Okay, you look at the syntax, order ID. It means that object data, response data property will have three properties. One would be message, second would be order ID, and status. And it go in response back. It would be data. Let's get back to tank. To tank. And this status is new status. It is new status. All the time we have here new status. And that new status now go to, in this circle, in two layers, new status will be updated in database. And this status is new status. And here, if all is okay, is new status, order ID, and new status, the newest status. Okay, and now back in tank. Tank order slice. Order slice. Here is in response. In response, we have response dot in console. Response, it is 36. 36. 36. Look at, we have a message in curly brackets. It is JSON format. It is object with three properties. Message, it is order status updated. Okay. And look at order ID, number 2, and status. Order ID, look at how it is written. It is in 36. In 7.9, when I look at it, is the same. And okay, and here is 81. Order slice is number 2. And now let's go to slice. To slice, order slice, and look at how that change is made in other orders slice. Where go return, this return? To whom return? It is a tank function. To whom return response data? To whom? To extra reducer down. Extra reducer. Extra reducer. And here it is, extra reducer. And we find our add case. Our add case is change status. Here it is. Update order status. Fulfilled. All is okay. We don't have error. It is action, state action, enter input value. And we declare update order equal action payload. What is action payload? Action payload is data, response data. And that return coming here, and in action payload, it is data. It means, and now all complete payload, look at here in 79, we declare update order equal payload, action payload. And here I control in console, what is it? It is 79. I can look at 79. Look at here, 79. It is order, same what was 36. Update, order ID to status delivery. It is payload. Payload. It means that update order, there is object would have three properties: message and value of message, order ID and value of order ID, and status, delivery, value of status. Now we declare existing order, and we find orders which order ID, it is order ID database, name of columns, name of fields. What I give in table, it is order R underscore ID. And here it is, table order, order ID. Pardon, table is orders, it is array, orders is array in state, in Redux, existing orders, and find filter function find, every array there is a find function and or method, and method find go one by one members of orders and see compare ID. This order here is in parameter, order by order go in this process in arrow function, and order ID equal update order ID. And here is error, must be ID, because but it was undefined, and when we look at here it is, I take real name syntax, what exists in data, what coming from Express existing data, and show me number 2. It is 81. 81. Oh, okay, now it is orders number 2 deliver it. Now I change in paid, update status paid, and now number 2 is paid, because I correct iPad update status undelivered update status, but look at in 9. Okay, I changes here it is, and now it have to go to changes also in state, also in state. But I look at now number 2 status delivered. Even though I changes order ID, can I Control C? Yes, enter. Reset npm start. npm start. In Chrome, I refresh. Orders. Okay, number 2. It is pad. In state in table is pad. Okay. Here is order list. Here is a pad. And now I change it in processing. Update status. Okay. Update status. Look at in look at here in here is master refresh number 2. Deliver it. Refresh. After refresh, it would be processing. Processing and I look at here. Why now when I change the don't change status didn't change status, but look at here. It was ID, and when I control that ID here, ID, I have undefined this location, this console 81 orders, number 2 orders, number 2 processing. If I change it in shipped and F12, I like in Chrome. When I orders number 2 change processing in shipped and now when I look at in 81, order ID okay, I must play here shipped. I change here in delivered update. Okay, and now 81. 81 is undefined, undefined, and it means that nothing would be changed. Here is if all is okay. Update order equal payload. Uh, we find orders, but not exist if order ID, because order ID is not inside update order ID. It must be order without underscore, with capital letters I and small letters D. In this situation, it is undefined. Here is, we see that is undefined, and we didn't find, not exist. And we have if, because of that, we have no error. If don't exist, don't exist or existing order, we stop here. But only if existing order, we go ahead. And what happened ahead? Get that existing order, it is order what existing order, status would be equal update order status. Only if exist. But this moment it is not exist. It is because undefined is order ID. And this is not happen. If it is not happen, would not be changed in Redux. In Redux, order would not be changed. But in database would be changed because Express server is changed value and response message, order ID and status. But problem is in syntax. Order ID together, one word with I, capital letters, exist like properties in data. And I coded order, I don't, all that coded artificial intelligence. And I don't know who changed what. I something have changed. So, and it is good that I give fields, name of fields in table with underscore. And because coding, artificial coding without underscore with capital ID, order ID. And thanks to that, I can make difference, see difference when we need use order ID. It is variable, name of variable in what we put in that transfer. There is a lot of transfer. We put value, it is variable, and we must know when we need real fields name in a database. Order ID can be variable for transfer, but when we communicate with database, order ID, it must be strictly like column of database is. Okay, I hope you see what I want here to present, and I didn't go back and look at why, and but one is sure, here must be order ID, and this also must be order ID. All that error is for practice. It is what I now create. I learn like that, and it is practice. This moment because there is no error, would not be visible. In database, all work okay, changes working, but momentarily it is not adequate in Redux. And error like this can go years by years that would not be visible until we don't need update it immediately in process. Uh, okay, it is about status, button change status. It's all for this video. If you know somebody that needs a video like this one, in, write it in social network, say it your friends, and if you like it, subscribe, comment. That community around this video growing, and only about community depend our learning. More community, more learning, better learning, and me as here in a role of teacher, and you here in role of student. Okay, thank you for watching this video.